Hello, it's Heather Clifford with eXp Realty here in Comox Valley and beautiful Campbell River area with your real estate market update for the end of October 2023. And to be honest, I started this presentation about 2 weeks ago when I ran into 4 individual multiple offers. So we were relatively quiet, what we're calling a balanced market, and then we had a little spurt of excitement in the marketplace. And I'm going to talk to you about that and about the market numbers in the presentation that I have put together for you today. So stick with me while I share my screen. Okay, let's get started with our late October 2023 market update. In this presentation, I also want to touch base a little bit on building permits as well as latent defects. I like to start my presentation off with a little bit of media release update from our Vancouver Island Real Estate Board Chair, Kelly O'Dwyer. And Kelly says that September looked like a relatively typical fall market, but was somewhat slower than expected. So higher interest rates could be catching up with us. She went on to say that O'Dwyer feels that the seller's market on Vancouver Island Real Estate Board experienced for the past few years has now transitioned to a balanced market and appears to be moving to one that favors the buyers. So sellers should consider adjusting their expectations if they hope to sell their home in a reasonable amount of time. Very true. However, having said that, I think as a real estate agent, we need to constantly be updating our sellers as to whether their price is still reasonable for what is going on in the marketplace. And I do like to talk to my sellers at least once a week and let them know what's going on in and around their particular property. Here are a little bit of screenshots that I found over the last week, and they kind of mimic what Kelly O'Dwyer is saying. So minimum income needed to buy a home in Vancouver rises due to interest rates. Vancouver housing market more balanced after the spring and summer slowdown. BC home sales slowed by high cost of borrowing. And once again, what Kelly said, September looked like a relatively typical fall market, but was somewhat slower than expected. So higher interest rates could be catching up. And that seems to be the overall feel of what's going on in the real estate marketplace right now is the high interest rates. The market has slowed down. Some are calling it a balanced market, and some people feel like it is shifting to be a buyer's market. I wanted to touch base a little bit about latent defects and what they are and why it's important as a seller that you are disclosing anything you know about a home, that those defects are not easily discovered even by your home inspector. And some of those items can be an infestation of insects in your home, roofing problems that you might have, HVAC design flaws, plumbing, mold, leaky roofs, water damage, and then building permits. Have you done work to your property that required a permit either through the city or the regional district and you did not get one? If you want to stop the video right now, you can read all the examples that I've put up on the screen, and you can always call your planning department at the city or the regional district and ask them if a permit is required for whatever it is you want to do. So here we have our numbers. You can see July to August, we went up just a little bit. We went up a little bit more in September. And these are the overall numbers for the Vancouver Island Real Estate Board, not our general area of Comox Valley and Campbell River. I'm going to go over those numbers next. And here we have the numbers for all of the areas under the Vancouver Island Real Estate Board. And the Campbell River numbers went down over last month by about $5,100. However, the Comox Valley numbers went up, and they went up substantially, $22,600. Cowichan Valley went up slightly. Nanaimo went up by about $3,000. Parksville Qualicum area went down, and Port Alberni went up just slightly as well. So that is the benchmark prices for the areas that the Vancouver Island Real Estate Board covers. Here is a closer look at Campbell River and Comox Valley. You're welcome to stop the slides or stop the video, and then you can look month over month. You can go back 3-5 years and look at where our numbers are. So this is where I was saying that Campbell River has gone down slightly over last month, and now we're sitting at the 668,600, and the Comox Valley went up quite a bit, once again, $22,000 over last month. Our condo market in the Campbell River area has also gone down just slightly. We are now sitting at a benchmark price of $343,700. And in the Comox Valley, we went up just a hair to $377,900. Our townhouse market in the Campbell River area, we went down slightly to $536,600. And then we went down slightly in the Comox Valley to $557,500. And I really love looking at the numbers month over month, because they tell us the story of that particular product, what is happening in the marketplace. This week, when I was out shopping, I chatted up with a number of people that were not from our area. And I asked them what it was that made them decide to move to Campbell River or Comox Valley. And overall, I had some pretty interesting comments. And I met this young family, and they said that the number one thing was the quality of life for them. So things that their kids could do not only in the winter, but the summer as well. Safety for their children and activities. Then was affordability. Affordability wasn't number one, but it was important to them as well. Air quality was something I had not heard before. And so this particular family was coming out of the Kamloops area, and they said in the summertime, they have to stay inside with the kids a lot. And they just found that the quality of life wasn't acceptable for them any longer. Some of the older people that I chatted with said they want to be closer to their family. They are hoping for grandchildren, or grandchildren are already here, and they just want to spend more time with the family. The other thing that was very interesting is the Comox Valley and Campbell River both have brand new hospitals. And as people age, having a doctor and being close to those types of amenities become very important. And then last but not least is our beautiful climate here, because we have milder winters and we don't get as hot in the summertime. Now, we do get beautiful weather and we get a lot of rain, but the quality of life with our climate seems to be also a drawing point. So that got me thinking about the number of people I was working with as buyers who are considering moving here, and the people that are retiring here. So when I did some research, what I found out was in the next 3 years, and this goes until the end of 2025, over 1 million Canadians will retire. And those retiring Canadians need to find somewhere that is going to be a little more easier for their life, closer to their children, and the different amenities that become important to them. Also, the pandemic slowed the retirement numbers down because people couldn't afford or their retirement investments, because interest rates a few years back were so low that their portfolios didn't make the money that they were anticipating. So they are now waiting a little bit longer to retire, but we have about 1 million people that will retire in the next couple of years. And the reason that they are looking at the Comox Valley and the Campbell River area is because of their health, because of their children, grandchildren, and the quality of life. Also, a lot of people that are coming here from the bigger cities, Ontario, Toronto, Calgary, they are selling their real estate for pretty good prices, and they can buy something even better or put money in the bank for their retirement and buy a beautiful, comfortable rancher style home. Mostly is what people that are retiring are looking for. So that was an interesting little bit of information to find out. Here is my weekly look month over month, and I really love doing this, and this one tells me a good story. So new listings are relatively the same, pending the same, back on the market, price increases. The solds were a little bit more in October. We had more closings, but overall it looks like it was relatively the same as the month prior. Here we have a new listing that I have on Piercy Avenue in Courtney, and this is a legal up and down duplex, and it sits on a beautiful lot. I do have an accepted offer on it, and this was one of the multiple offers that I dealt with this week. The interesting thing about this property is it's a really large lot, and with the province overruling the zoning aspects in a lot of the cities and maybe even the regional districts, this is coming at the end of the year. They are looking for higher density on lots if people want to. This could be a fourplex down the road. So we're not sure. And I'm going to talk about that zoning issue that should be here by the end of the year, maybe in next month's video. But it's something to keep an eye on if you are a property owner or if you have a property that has larger land. The Campbell River home has had another price reduction down to 1.3799 million. This is a very unique property. It is a gorgeous riverfront property with a very large home on it, but it does have a lot of things that a buyer needs to discuss with their real estate agent. So please reach out to me if you have any interest in this property. There is great value here for sure. My little house on Saratoga Beach on Clarkson Avenue for $775,000. This actually has a very unique zoning. It has a TC1 zoning, so that's tourist commercial. It's half a block from the beach. It's a good half-acre property with a small cabin on it. It definitely is a handyman special. Have your real estate agent find out information. I do have a home inspection report on this property if you'd like to look at it. My 10 acres on Lake Trail Road is back on the market. The offer that we did have on it fell through, buyer financing situation. This also is a property that we're considering taking off the market because of the zoning changes that I just talked about that are coming by the end of the year. I have a little shout out for a very favorite lady of mine. Her name is Valerie, and Valerie is an incredible painter. She calls herself a perfectionist. She does detailed painting services. Valerie's doing a couple of jobs for me in the next few weeks, and I'm going to take some more pictures. If you are considering having your home painted on the inside or some trimming on the outside, please reach out to me and I would be happy to share with you Valerie's contact information. So there we have it. That is our real estate market update for the Comox Valley and Campbell River areas for the end of October. My name is Heather Clifford. I have been in real estate for over 30 years now, and it would be my pleasure to chat with you about your real estate needs. Take care.